Most businesses skip budgeting altogether, or they build one in January and never look at it again. But if you're serious about growing a profitable business, a budget is not optional. It's your roadmap. And today I'm going to show you how exactly to set one up fast, clean, and in a way that actually gets used. We are a 100% Xero firm. And one of the biggest reasons we use Xero for budgeting is very simple. We can run budget to actual reports at any given point without manually having to update a spreadsheet every month. Our working file does live in Excel, but Xero is the source of truth, and that combination is a game changer for both us and our clients. In this video, I'm walking you through our full budgeting process in Xero. We're going to cover how to navigate the budget manager in Xero. We're going to set up the right budget periods. We're going to also talk about exporting actuals to Excel to build your first pass efficiently, whether you are the business owner or you're an accountant helping business owners with their budgeting. So let's go. Welcome to the Ambitious Bookkeeper podcast. So in Xero, you'll go to accounting and reports. Then you'll scroll down to the financial performance area. You can also always search up here, but I'm going to search for budget. And there's a couple areas that you can look to. What we're going to go to first is Budget Manager. This is where we're going to be able to look at the last 12 months, export the last 12 months, and then we can import it back into the Budget Manager. Once you have a budget loaded into Xero, you can view budget variance reports where you're looking at what you budgeted versus the actuals. And this is what makes it really convenient to be able to use the software that your bookkeeping is happening in, so you're not manually updating your budget to actuals. And then there is the budget summary, which is basically a summary report of the budget you've created. So let's start with Budget Manager. And for right now, we are looking at the demo company. So things are a little bit different, but I wanted to walk you through what it looks like to get to this process. And then I'm going to show you a real example of a client with some things blurred out. So here we are in the overall Budget Manager. And a couple things I want to note and to show you. It makes it easier if you use the wide view, then you can look all the way across. The other thing is depending on the period that you're budgeting for. So for instance, right now we're going to be putting together a 12-month annual budget of a calendar year. So we're going to start the budget in January of 2024. And we want to pull in actuals for the last 12 months because we're going to build this budget based on what happened the last 12 months. And we're going to keep this at a 12-month period because we're budgeting for 12 months, if that makes sense. Now, when you come back after you've created a budget and maybe you want to update quarterly, you'll reforecast it quarterly. What you'll want to do is do a different start date. So say we come back after Q1 and we want to reforecast. So we're going to have a new start date of April. Well, it would be April 2024, but it's not going to allow us to do that. So we're just going to pretend that we're in 2023. So we would come to April 2023. We would pull in the last 6 months of actuals, most likely, and then we're going to budget for a 3-month period. So it's going to look a little different. So as you can see, these solid numbers, these are the actuals, and then this is the area where you can budget. And so to build an initial budget, we're going to go back here. We're going to do January 2024, 12 months and 12 months. We're going to update. I'm actually going to leave it as overall budget, but what I would recommend doing for when you're starting this process, if you're using Xero and using this functionality, is to click add a new budget and name it original 2024 budget. That way, if you do start doing forecasts and updates to it, you always have that original that you can come back to and compare. So you don't want to continue to update the original. You want to make copies of it and make new ones so that at the end of the year, you could still compare your entire year back to that original budget. Okay, so here we are. January 2024 is when we want to start our budget. We're going to pull in 12 months actuals and we're going to create a 12-month budget. So here we have the demo companies. I'm going to close my video real quick because it's kind of in the way. We have the demo companies actuals from the last year. Obviously, we're in November currently as of the time of this recording, so there's no actuals for November and December. But to do this in a more efficient way, and this is what I wanted to walk you through, is what we're going to do is we're going to export this into, you can do Excel or Google Sheets or CSV. I'm going to export it to Excel, and I will open that in a moment. And then what it does is it exports it into the same format as your income statement and with all these same accounts that exist in your chart of accounts. So it makes it a lot easier to have everything match up and align. So we're going to export that. We're going to work through it in Excel, and then we're going to re-import it into Xero. So what makes this my preferred method is when I'm prepping for a client budget, which I'm about to do for another client, is I like to have everything in Excel and make notes in Excel of your budget assumptions, make notes over the little cells, highlight things that we need the client's input on and things like that. And then that way I have my first pass done. I've done as much as I can based on historical actuals, which is what we're looking at right here on the screen. I've done as much legwork as I can based on the actuals and what I know about the client's plans. And then what I would do is go through the Excel file and highlight the areas that I need their additional input on. So areas like maybe wages. So if they're planning on budgeting for raises or hiring people, we're going to build out a tab that helps calculate all those things based on headcount and things like that. So this is the starting point of creating the budget. If you're a small business owner ready to follow a plan and understand your own numbers, head over to my firm website to see how we can work together. That's ofcoursefinancial.com. If you're a bookkeeper or an accountant and you're ready to step into an advisory role with clients and not only build budgets for them, but strategize and guide them, I teach this whole entire process and guide you through how to become a strategic advisor with clients by going to ambitiousbookkeeper.com/elevate. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you to everyone who helps make this podcast possible. Content and interviews are produced by me, Serena Shoup. Our intro and outro music is written and performed by my brother, Ian Gilliam. Editing is also by Ian using his awesome sound engineering skills along with Descript software. Hosting and publishing is by Buzzsprout, and you can check out the show notes for links to all of these amazing resources and resources mentioned in the episode.
Be ambitious.